Let's talk about Jose Mourinho, because the managerial merry-go-round is now in full effect. Rodgers and Advocat have gone. We'll touch on him in a minute. Big Dick is gone. Hey, listen, Mourinho, he's under pressure, isn't he, Robbie? Big time.
Massive pressure. And you would have all seen the press conference. I thought it was a total meltdown.
Yeah.
They got totally taken apart by Southampton in my eyes. I watched the game. Southampton were brilliant. Chelsea were really poor, especially at the back. I mean, last season that was their strength. They've lost that. And to be fair, towards the end of last season, they were struggling as well.
Yeah.
If you remember rightly, they had to shut down games, literally park the bus in all the games to get over the line to win that title. And they've continued that on this season. And they're just really poor at the moment. But when I watched the game, Southampton had 2 nailed-on penalties that were turned down. And for him to go into that press conference after that and start going on about their penalty, to go on about referees, and for me as an Arsenal fan, after what I saw, the murder that they got away with when they played us, when Diego Costa should have been sent off, which they did in the end retrospectively, give him that free game ban. For him to be going on about referees, I'm like, this man has lost the plot.
Yeah, you just knew it though, didn't you? The second that game finished, and you go, "I'm going to speak to Jose Mourinho," and you go, "He's going to talk about the penalties."
A 7-minute rant though, and I was looking at him in that press conference, and I'm thinking, you know what? I reckon he could be next.
Yeah, he could be.
I reckon he could be next because he's talking about not sacking me and stuff like that, and I'm thinking, well, you know something.
His exact words are, "I won't walk away. I won't run away from this. If the club want to sack me, they're gonna have to sack me because I'm not gonna walk away." The guy knows the pressure, and he basically says himself. He starts turning it on the owners. He turns it on the staff. He turns it on the players. He says it's everyone's fault that I'm in this position. They need to pull together.
It's never him. Yeah.
He's a special one. He says himself, "Look, I say I'm good." Well, prove it, Jose. I mean, look, it's clear he is under massive pressure. And he's going to have to do something to turn it around.
But it's one of those things when the team's doing really well. The team and the individual players get the plaudits. As soon as the results don't go that way, they're looking at the manager, and obviously Mourinho is the specialist in deflecting the attention away from himself.
I haven't seen a specialist deflection at Chelsea like that since Joe Cole was there, if I'm honest. But that was more off his back. Yeah. Barry, what do you reckon, mate? Because it's to be fair, Mourinho is a great manager. There's no getting away from it. So it's a strange situation to see him there and looking so fraught. To be honest, I'll not lie. I did enjoy every single second of that 7-minute rant until obviously Liverpool then subsequently went up the ante off the back of it. But what's your take on it all, mate?
Well, I mean, last time we done this, they were in trouble then, and me and Robbie were saying at the time something's not right in that dressing room. You can tell, and they haven't took it on at all. After it looks even way. I mean, Robbie's right. Saturday, 2 penalty shouts. I mean, the Van Dijk one, Dick is clearly getting pulled. The referee's looking at it. How's he not giving? Yeah. And I've got to say,
I'd still contend the Falcao one that he's going on about. He's half down before the guy.
It's not a decision by the referee.
It's a great decision. It was a dive.
In real time, that looks like a stonewall penalty because the keeper hits him that quickly. Yeah. It's only when you see it again that he's already fallen. So for him to go in and bang on about referees is embarrassing, really. I mean, when we beat them the other week, he come out and blamed the fact that Bezic got injured for why they lost. He said, look what happens, they lose a player with an injury and another one comes on and gets a hat-trick, and the computer broke so we couldn't go through the stuff half an hour before the game. Jose Mourinho, the man that plans everything, couldn't get a computer to work half an hour before the game. It's cost
Windows 8, mate.
He didn't upgrade to Windows 10, did he?
What's wrong with the chalkboard and the old school
To be honest, it could have been 4 or 5. I mean, he misses Tadic missed that chance at the end, and he should have squared it for 4-1. And you're thinking, you look at Chelsea, you look at the players, and you think, okay, clearly the defence was a problem. He wanted John Stones. Everton have kind of broke Chelsea, haven't they, by not giving him Stones, ducking and giving him. But he knows they've got problems. Gary Cahill's garbage. I've said it for years. I just don't rate him. No. John Terry's still a good defender. There's no question about it. Why Zuma isn't in every week? He might have been injured. I don't know, but he played well against Arsenal. He scored against Arsenal as well. So I don't know why he wasn't playing. But
persistent with Ivanovic.
But he's like Ivanovic.
yeah, but you could.
He got served in that game, didn't he? I mean,
But you'd play if you're gonna stick with Ivanovic, then you play him centre half with Terry, and then you'd put Azpilicueta right back, and you've got the
Baba Rahman
or someone on the left there, and have that nice little bit of balance. They've still got really good players, Chelsea. They shouldn't be obviously where they are. So when you've got a collection of players that aren't performing, you've got to look at someone, haven't you? They either look at themselves. Fabregas, I believe, is having a mare. Pull him out just because he's Fabregas. Get him out. I mean, he put Matic on. Took him off 20 minutes after bringing him on at the weekend.
I know, he's losing it, man.
You know,
I mean, sorry, I just think with Mourinho as well, he's spending all his time trying to, like you said, play sort of mind games, deflection games. Every press conference he's talking about Arsene Wenger, the Eva Canario thing. No, but it's true though. Literally every conference he's talking about Arsene Wenger, how he's able to, still be in a job.
Even though he does have a point, but
well, he's getting karma for it now.
Yeah.
The Eva Canario thing, how badly that was handled. The John Stones thing, how badly that was handled. Dropping John Terry. Like you said on Saturday, bring Matic on, take him off. I don't know. It just seems to me that it's like the usual cycle of Mourinho when he's managing clubs. That when he starts to when he's been there for a little bit, he's had a little bit of success, and then he just starts to lose it. That's how it's just appearing to me, and that's why I think I can see him going.
Well, that's the big question. Then you can carry on with this, Robbie, for a sec. Is Mourinho the next Premier League manager to be sacked? Or whatever.
I think he is. I think he could be out the door. I especially with what's happening now with Liverpool, maybe the owner might be looking on it and say, well, you know what, there's not many quality managers out there. I might have to move quickly. It's really a shock because as he is a top manager, but it always seems to end up like this.
Well, it's just sad that by all accounts, cruised to the title last year. It's just whatever was working last season has completely stopped working. This, what about you? Is he the next? Is he the next for the job?
I thought this mirrors how we went last time. It mirrors the exact same way he left Chelsea last time. He started in a couple of bumps in the road in the Champions League, and the next minute he was gone. It's ego with him, isn't it? I think the problem with Jose is he's obviously a very good manager, but the minute no one spits the dummy like Jose did, and I think trying to make example of players, putting Matic on, dragging him off, highlighting to the whole stadium that he hasn't done what he wants. I'm the boss, you'll do what I say. Players are going to he done it to John Terry, hung John Terry out to dry, going on about Stones and things like that. He's backing himself into a corner, and like you just said, Roman Abramovich might be sat there now thinking, hang on, we won the league, yeah, great, he's had money, it's not going well. Klopp's available, and Liverpool, will make headlines, big names, and he might get
available.
Ancelotti's
bring him back. Did well there last time.
Klopp could go to Chelsea, and Mourinho could end up at Liverpool.
So what if he loses? If he loses the next game at Villa, who also, mind you, their manager as well has got to be struggling. If he was to lose that game.
Imagine if Tim Shea would put you out of a job.
Is this going to be...
I'm literally
imagine quit from football now.
That game...
Is this going to be the year
usurped by Sherwood?
Half a dozen managers are gone by.
That game actually could be whoever loses has gone.
The thing is, Chelsea will win. No, that's the thing. I think he'll turn it round. I could see it going. I could see it go badly wrong because ultimately the pressure he's under is the league title's fine, but it's all about the Champions League. And if they don't get it sorted in the Champions League. It's the only thing he hasn't won, for Chelsea, isn't it? But I think that's right. But it's the one that he cherishes the most for Chelsea.
You've got Hazard and people. You think they're going to turn it very quickly, wouldn't you? Costa's got.
Well, I've been saying that for weeks.
He said before the Southampton game and the week before as well.
I keep backing him in fantasy football, and it keeps going wrong every single week.
He's been given the vote of confidence today.
So
we all know what that means, don't we?
If this was Football Manager, he's one game away.
I honestly think if he had somewhere to go, I think he'd walk away. Because I think he'd say, I've had enough and I don't need this. Look what I've done, respect everything I've done. There's not many. He's been to Spain, he's been to Italy, unless
Russia perhaps? Russia?
No, maybe wait a year and to take over. Say if maybe Pep goes in the summer. I don't know.
Well,
the England team.
I don't. I don't think Bayern Munich could won him.
No, Bayern Munich are not going to take a manager like Jose Mourinho. He comes with too much baggage. Yeah. He's always, too spiky with the press. Too, as I said, the whole Eva Canaria thing.
I wouldn't want to follow Pep Guardiola in that job.
But the whole Eva Canaria thing, for instance, it damages the image of that Chelsea brand. Yeah. And I think that the suits upstairs, they're not going to like that. They're not going to like the fact that, even sometimes when you lose, we know Mourinho is a real winner. He hates losing. All the top managers are like that. But I think sometimes when you lose, you've got to be a bit more gracious in defeat. You can't just look for something to play. He doesn't, and it doesn't do him any favours, though.
But again, if he's your manager, and I'm sure there's Chelsea fans watching this just foaming at the mouth listening to us talk about their club, but, look, ultimately, if he was in charge of any one of our clubs, and you would, because you love a guy who backs himself and he puts it in the football club, I guess. Like your football club is the most important thing to him at the time.
All fans, right? And I can tell you as an Arsenal fan, all fans love the manager when they're winning.
Yeah, that's true.
But at the moment, he's not winning, right? So when you're not winning, all these little antics and stuff like that, all of a sudden start to become an irritation to the fans. And I think there's a lot of Chelsea fans at the moment that, they still... He won the title last year, so if I'm being honest, he should be given more time. Yeah. Just out of the fact that he won that last year. However, if he don't start winning soon, if he was to lose that game against Villa, I think he's got big trouble.
How important is a manager?
Very. Massively.
Is he?
Absolutely. Okay. Why? Well, clearly not the answer.
Elaborate.
No, because I'm saying to you, it's the players are ultimately the people who carry out your...
No, you're right. No, sorry, you're right. You are right.
So if your players decide that what you're saying to them isn't relevant anymore, they can just... We've seen it with so many teams. Yeah. You just go, I've had enough of you. I'm gonna give it. You're gonna get it in the neck now, and we're not gonna put the.
Well, we've mentioned it already, but that would have been Klopp at his last year at Borussia Dortmund. Would have probably been very similar. You've heard it all before. Yeah. What nothing new that the guy can do to shake it up. You know what you can do, Jose, if you want to shake it up? Bubble football, mate. Bubble football. I can highly recommend it. Sort of. Okay, do let us know your thoughts on that. We're going to move on. We'll talk a little bit about the top four in a moment. So, let us know your thoughts. It's Jose Mourinho, the next man for the chop. Give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well.